doing?
What's up?
Today we're going to break down some fights. We've got 3 really big fights coming up.
Yes, we do. I am so excited to watch
What are you
them.
most excited about?
Let's see. Probably the Khabib fight. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's hard not to get excited about that, but for me, I don't want to say this, but I think, well, we're going to get to the breakdown. I don't want to ruin my, I'm going to ruin my breakdown if I say this, but I'm not as excited about that fight because I think it's going to be one-sided, unfortunately.
Oh.
I'm more excited about Whitaker to see how Whitaker goes and the Zombie fight as well. So I would say, actually, for me, it's Whitaker, Zombie, and then
Khabib.
Khabib, just because I know how it's going to go.
You just feel like Khabib's just unbeatable.
Gonna steamroll him.
I got you.
We're gonna do UFC breakdown, fight night, Ortega versus the Zombie. I don't know.
I'm just gonna call him the zombie.
The Zombie.
Yeah, that's good. You know, I see a few holes. He's starting to bring his shots in a little tighter, but he does throw fairly wide.
Both feet, bang, 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 bang.
Who is Zombie?
Zombie.
You're saying Zombie throws wide shots? Okay.
Yeah. So
Well, I thought his striking has improved.
that's what I was saying. Is that it's gotten straighter. It's gotten a little more
crisp.
Yeah. And not just crisp, but I would say compacted. Tighter. Exactly. So
Tweaked.
Yes, tweaked. So he's improving on that. But
I
yeah,
thought the same thing. I thought like go back 5 fights, different striking. Go back to his last 2 fights.
much better.
Much better. Okay. And what about Zombie as a whole? Do you know what happened? Do you know what happened between the two of them?
The shit talking.
Do you know what happened?
Ortega smacked one
Yes.
of his crew.
Not just his crew. Joe, you probably know him. He's Asian. You guys know each other, right?
Of course.
We're allowed to be a little bit racist on the show. Zombie, his best friend is like a TikToker or like a famous rap singer or something.
Rap singer, yeah.
Do you know what his name is? I think he's got 5 million
On TikTok.
on something. I don't know if he's a TikToker. I'm probably getting that wrong. But
No, you're probably right.
Ortega slapped that guy in the face.
Right.
And then Zombie was like, got onto Ariel Hawani's show. And Zombie was having his friend translate on the show about, he fought me, he slapped me, So there's some beef there.
Right. There is.
There's some actual beef. Okay, so what do you think about Ortega then? So we're saying his strikes. So we're saying there's some beef there. We're saying, I think for me, if I go to me, he's improved significantly, I think, in his last few fights.
Yes.
I agree with you. He's super durable. What about Ortega?
Ortega's been off for a long time. I mean, in his last fight, he got beat pretty bad.
Yep. We're going to watch that in a sec.
Yeah, and a torn ACL. So, that's tough. There's a lot of things that have happened to him. So he's coming in. He's the underdog, and probably in his head too, he's the underdog. And again, it's all about what's up in your head. So he's thinking like, all this shit has been going on. I've been laid off. Mindset wise, that's where I see it. If we're talking about skill set, he's great on the ground, and he's probably going to try to shoot a lot on Zombie. But Zombie's got that. He's starting to throw a pretty wicked right uppercut up the middle. So I would tell Ortega to really watch out. Watch out for that shit, because if you keep trying to shoot on him, he's going to catch you coming in. So he's going to have to be careful with that. And I'd recommend Ortega try to be a counter puncher. And hopefully he's working on counter punching, because that might be the only way to beat this guy.
I think that's a fair assessment. I agree with you that Ortega's mindset after a beatdown, we don't know where that's at. I think that the beatdown that Ortega took against Holloway was huge, and we'll look at that in a sec.
Right.
I think that Ortega also had 2 years off, and I just don't like it. I just don't like a 2-year layoff after a defeat. When Conor McGregor got beaten, and I'm not trying to suck on Conor McGregor's dick.
Please don't.
Hit me up. But McGregor lost, booked a rematch. I want the rematch. Now, granted, McGregor didn't get a one-sided beatdown, right?
Right.
Like Ortega did. But we haven't seen Ortega for 2 years, and I don't like that after a defeat that was that bad to go, I'm going to go into whatever it was, ACL. He hasn't fought in 2 years.
Right.
That doesn't bode well, if that's a word.
It
bode
is.
well?
Yeah, absolutely.
That doesn't bode well for me that Ortega took so much time off. So
was that his first loss?
Yeah, undefeated.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a mind fuck.
I mean, I don't want to bring it up and make you feel
I already
sad.
know what you're going to say.
I'll bring it up.
I do, yes.
Do you remember your first loss?
I do, yeah.
And
it does. It makes you think, like, what am I doing? Like, am I good enough? Like, that's kind of like your first thought. And then it takes a while to get your mind right again and go, you know what? Fuck that. Where did I fuck up at?
yeah.
What do I need to work on?
Yeah.
I got to get my ass back in the gym, and I need to work on the things that I suck at.
Yes.
So
that
people
takes
take
time.
longer than others to get there.
I think that does take time, and I think easier for you to get your mind right when you're a fighter that's kind of confident on your own without the team around you. And I see again, similar to what I saw with Costa, with the same team that was with Triple C, and the team was pushing Costa like, you're the champ, go get him, you're gonna fuck him up. Mm-hmm. I see similarities with Ortega's camp because he's got this jiu-jitsu guy who's like, Ortega, you're the man. And they're pumping him up. They're pumping up Costa. But I would prefer if the fighter was the one that was like, you don't need to pump me up. I'm the fucking man. Like that confidence from them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they should already have it. And by the way, did you hear that his main coach, jiu-jitsu coach, tested positive for COVID? So he's not going to Fight Island.
Oh, you mean that so the main coach for Ortega is a guy who does YouTube Gracie's.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And you know, he fired his whole entire team except that guy.
You did your research. Oh my God. This is literally like the facts and the fucking bullshit. The bullshit. So you're saying that the Gracie family, what's his name? Brian? Renner,
yes.
Renner, Gracie, and the brother. There's two brothers that they do YouTube videos. So you're saying Renner
is the one that is
he's got
positive,
COVID.
Right.
Fuck COVID, by the way.
Right.
And,
exactly.
And he has COVID and he's not going to be, so holy shit.
Right.
Ortega isn't going to have his lifelong coach
and
with
cheerleader.
Him. And cheerleader, that's a good way of putting it. Do you think that's going to make him want to go harder, or do you think that's going to be damaging?
You know, it could go either way. It could be like, you know what, fuck it, I don't need anybody. Like, I'm all in.
Okay.
Or it could be like, you know what, that's just one more thing against me. Like, he could go in. It's like it's going to be one extreme or the other for him in his mind.
It's hard to know.
Yeah.
Let's look at some stats, guys. So that's our big picture. Let's look at some stats, some stataronies. Well, if you're in the red corner and I'm in the blue corner,
all right.
How would you promote your fighter in the red corner?
Let's see.
Let's look at these stats. Red corner, Ortega. Blue corner, Zombie.
Yes.
Actually, some people don't know this, Kerry, but like, what is the actual, why is one corner red, one corner blue? How do they choose which corner you are?
Well, it's interesting because when I was boxing and coaching for so many years, I always noticed that the matchmakers would put who they thought was going to win in the red corner.
So the red corner is the better corner. 9 times
out of 10, the red corner would win. In boxing, it's like that. So if you watch, you know, kind of pay attention to that. I don't know with the UFC because I'm thinking like, is Ortega a favorite in this fight?
So guys, the red corner is the favorite. It's important to remember that if you're betting with your mates.
That's usually, I mean, every time I've seen fights, that's how they usually put it. But is the UFC the same as boxing in that sense? I don't know. We just saw Khabib's in the red corner.
You know what? I'm going to say for sure that if you're betting with your mates and your mate says, what's up? You pick the red corner. If you don't know who's going to win or you don't follow the fights or you're just
go red.
Go red.
Yeah.
When in doubt, go red. All right. So let's go back to the stats, guys. If you're the promoter for Ortega, how's Ortega going to win?
He's going to try to go for a takedown. He's great on the ground, but he's gotten better with his stand-up.
Okay.
So, you know, it's tough. I mean, what if they go toe-to-toe? They both improved on their stand-up. What if it stays up top? Maybe taking him to the ground.
And let's just have a look where Ortega's at. You know what, Carrie, what we should do actually, let's check out Ortega first. And let's have a look at Ortega's last few fights. Okay?
Okay. Are we watching highlights?
Let's watch a highlight reel.
Okay.
Swanson win, Edgar win. Edgar, we haven't seen much crazy from Edgar lately, and then he gets a title shot. So hang on a sec. UFC is a genius. The UFC are geniuses. You get a title shot after, no offense to Ortega, but you get a title shot after beating Swanson and Edgar, who are what ranked? What are they ranked? I mean, maybe Edgar. So you beat one top 5 guy. Swanson's probably what, like 10?
Top 10.
Top 10. So you beat maybe 2 in the top 10, and you're getting a title shot.
Right.
What do you think about that?
I think it was too early, right? I think that because he's marketable, I think that's a big part of it. And so they're building his record up. I mean, I hate saying that, but you know, it is a business, and there are a lot of fighters who, if they appear to be more marketable, they're going to get easier fights to build their records. And so, you know, and unfortunately what happens is, and the same thing happened with Ronda Rousey, is that when you actually meet opposition, you get slaughtered. And I'm hoping that's not the case with Ortega, but I mean, you saw the Holloway fight. So
the Holloway fight, he got just totally dismantled badly. Let's watch some of Ortega's highlights, because I think I know what Ortega's going to do. He's a jiu-jitsu guy who has okay striking. Is that fair enough?
Yeah, but he's definitely done more striking in his last few fights than before. But yeah, he's definitely a ground guy. Yeah, wild.
And the flying knee as well. So we had some impressive, but even here, he wasn't like he was dominating every fighter.
No. But
right?
Yeah. But it's just, again, it's because who's he fighting? You know, you always have to just look at the opposition.
Yeah. And I will say this, when he knocked out Frankie Edgar, it was an uppercut, right? And so you say, oh, his striking was good, but if you remember watching it, Frankie was already badly hurt, and then was kind of dazed, and it looked good. The uppercut looked good. It was impressive. So the UFC was like, holy shit, we can market that, like you're saying.
Right.
But the reality is he knocked out an already kind of beaten fighter at that point of the fight.
And also, I mean, Frankie's been fighting for a long time.
Yeah.
So he's got a name, but he's more on the tail end, right? So
Yes.
you take a young fighter, what they call an upcoming star, and you're like, well, we
Make their
need him
name.
to fight a name,
Yeah.
but we have to fight a name that, obviously is maybe on his way out, toward the way out.
Marketable on
they
his
do it
way
all
out.
the time. So
That's crazy.
he's got his work cut out for him with the zombie.
Is that kind of the bad part of the business? Like, not the bad part, but like the sad part of the business where it's like they have to use the old guys to promote the new guys.
Right. Yeah. I mean, how else would it be?
That's true.
Yeah.
So let's look at some highlights from the zombie. So I mean, like, the reality is Ortega's striking is okay, very good grappler, hasn't successfully beaten really anybody in the top 5. What
Right.
about the Korean zombie? Let's see some zombie highlights.
I like to always watch like a fighter, and it's kind of like who actually beat them. When you have, it's like they have who is that person that beat them, and how did they fight?
Okay, so let's go through the exact stats about Zombie, right? So let's just scroll down. Let's just look at let's just look at the facts. Because right, your facts. Okay, so we already said Edgar is on the way out. Now it doesn't say there, but Zombie won against Edgar.
Right.
I don't know why, for some reason. Shout out to UFC admin team, guys. Fix that.
They were like, it's like they're still gonna fight.
Yeah, it does look like, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What about
I think it was Rodriguez. Was it Rodriguez that he fought? Yeah. That was a good fight. Rodriguez was southpaw, I think, most of the fight, which might have given him a hard time.
So he's beaten some okay guys. So he's
He's fought Aldo. I mean,
He's fought Aldo, yeah. That's true.
So he's
Round
he's fought
4.
some good. Yeah, he's fought some.
Went 4 rounds with Aldo.
Yeah.
And then Poirier.
Right.
This is actually a pretty even matchup, I think.
Yeah.
Zombie, who hasn't really beaten anyone significant. He fought Aldo and he got stopped in round 4. And he fought... Hold on. He won against Poirier? Okay, that changes my opinion.
Yeah,
He
submission.
beat Poirier.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was 2012.
Right. But the thing is that he's fought opposition. He lost one. He won one. And he has a challenge with southpaws.
Yeah.
Is Ortega going to be mostly southpaw because he likes to switch?
Okay.
Some of those factors will come in.
So let's get to the meat of it. Let's get to the juice. All right. Brian Ortega versus the Korean Zombie. Who you got?
Who do I got? You know what? I have the Zombie taking this one. I think he's just he's started to sharpen up his stand-up skills. He does throw wide, and if Ortega comes in with some straight shots, uppercuts, he could catch him. If Ortega just lays back and counters off of him, he might have a chance.
Yeah. Ortega needs the counter.
Yeah.
That's what you think, isn't it?
Yeah, so he'd have a chance doing it that way. If Ortega shoots on him, I think the Zombie will come with some really crisp uppercuts to try to keep that from happening. So, it's it's close, but I think the Zombie will take it.
Okay. My pick is Korean Zombie. For all of the reasons you just said, plus the fact that Zombie has had more recent fights and he's coming off of wins, and his striking is better than Ortega, and I don't believe Ortega has that good of a takedown. Like he doesn't shoot. He's not like, like some fighters like Khabib, GSP. They really, they focus on wrestling based takedowns.
Right.
Like they go for the shot, right? Like the double leg, the single leg, whatever.
Right.
Ortega's submissions have been more opportunistic.
Absolutely.
And I don't think that Zombie will give him the opportunity
to get him down. Yeah.
So I think that the BJJ will be nullified because he won't get the opportunity with the Zombie. I think Zombie's pretty smart, and I think that also Zombie's confidence is better, and I think that also we don't know where Ortega's at, and I don't like the fact that he had a 2-year layoff. So I'm going Zombie.
Zombie. Those are great reasons. Yes.
Ortega, if I see you out there, I've seen him before, and if I see you again, Ortega, bro, it's just business.
When the neon sign says open, who's looking me over? Looking me over. If I try enough,